We're going to begin with more breaking news out of India this morning, more signs of the deteriorating relationship with Canada. There is new reaction from India this hour to the allegations that Canada made, the Prime Minister made earlier this week, linking India with the killing of a Sikh activist, a Canadian citizen, on Canadian soil. India's Ministry of External Affairs says it is willing to look at the evidence, but that evidence has not yet been provided.
No specific information has been shared by Canada on this case, either then or before or after. We have, as we have said, or I think we've been made very clear, we are willing to look at any specific information. We have conveyed this to the Canadian side, made it clear to them that we are willing to look at any specific information that is provided to us. But so far, we have not received any such specific information.
That was just moments ago at the briefing for India's Ministry of External Affairs, a spokesperson for the department speaking, and also breaking this morning a Canadian response. Canada's High Commission taking steps to ensure the safety of its staff in India. And one more, India suspending visa services in Canada. So already this morning, a number of significant developments. Let's go live to our South Asia correspondent, Salima Shivji. She is in Mumbai leading things off for us. Let's begin, Salima, with this latest escalation. What are some of the new details?
Well, let's start what you mentioned off the top there, the visa services being suspended. The notice that this was happening came from BLS, which is the agency that actually handles Indian visas in Canada. It was posted on its website around midday that all Indian visa services were being suspended, basically saying that was going to happen until further notice. The company blamed operational reasons for that disclaimer, the fact that that suspension was happening. But I'll have you listen to the MEA spokesperson, the spokesperson from India's External Affairs Ministry, on why this is happening.
You are aware of the security threats being faced by our High Commission and consulates in Canada. This has disrupted their normal functioning. Accordingly, our High Commission and consulates are temporarily unable to process visa applications. We will be reviewing the situation on a regular basis.
So there, the ministry spokesperson basically linking this suspension to the fact that he says that there are threats facing Indian diplomats in Canada. Very much a sign, as we saw throughout the briefing, that there is a lot of anger from the government, the Indian government side, at Canada coming up with these allegations and releasing them publicly without, India says, much evidence to back them up. So this is just the latest measure that India is using, suspending visa services for so many hundreds of people who would like to visit India, Canadians waiting for a visa to get there. Pretty major escalation, as you said, in this diplomatic war and the tensions between the two countries. There's a development virtually every day. There was a travel warning yesterday that had very stark language, India warning its citizens to be very careful in Canada because, as it says, there are anti-India activities in Canada and politically motivated violence. So that has been the refrain from the Indian side, that they believe that Canada has become a safe haven for what India calls terrorists, and that is what they are repeating over and over again as this diplomatic war and tension sort of escalates day by day.
You know, Salima, as you were reporting, I was just wondering what this looks like. So if you can see it, we'll pull it up. This is the BLS website that you've just been referring to, and scrolling right there across the top. This is the only place you see it. If you look deeper into the website, you don't get it. But on this main front page, that scroller right at the top of your screen, that's where it says the information that Salima has just been reporting on, that due to operational reasons, with effect from today, 21st of September, Indian visa services have been suspended till further notice. So that is what you get on that BLS website. Some further details, Salima, on the other significant development we were mentioning, and that is that Canada's High Commission is pulling staff from India. What have we learned from Global Affairs?
That's right. They do say that there have been threats against Canadian diplomats in India, and some of those threats coming up on social media platforms. I'll read you a little bit more about the statement from the High Commission of Canada. They say, in light of the current environment where tensions have heightened, we are taking action to ensure the safety of our diplomats. With some diplomats having received threats on various social media platforms, Global Affairs Canada is assessing its staff complement in India. As a result, and out of abundance of caution, we've decided to temporarily adjust staff presence in India. So reducing the number of staff who are heading into the High Commission in New Delhi, as well as consulates, the several consulates across India. The High Commission feels this is necessary. They say out of an abundance of caution, but that the threats going around on social media and the heightened rhetoric is bad enough that it's worth reducing the staff presence. They do say operations will continue as normal, but with a reduced staff going into those consulates and the High Commission, as well as a heightened security presence around all of those buildings.